Hello everybody, once again, this is AikawaKazu, and today we have with us here MsSumi, my Alchemist. Yep. So this part 7 of the Loli-Adventures which we have followed through so far will be about the Alchemist skill build. It'll be a little guide where I'll have a written guide in the end, but I'll highlight the main points of my skill build guide in a video form where you can see the damage, the extent or the range of a certain skill, why is it exactly good, because words can't really formulate what you can actually see in the game. And finally, my reasons why for getting a certain skill, or why am I not getting a certain skill. So basically I'll provide three main skill builds in my guide, which is a level 24, a level 32, a level 35, and finally a level 40 skill build. So there'll be a progressive skill build chart where you know what skills to add at certain levels so you do not screw up, where you add a certain skill too high and fail to add up a certain skill. So you must be wondering why level 35. It's a very awkward level to actually have an extra skill build for. But this is highly important for Alchemist, because for most other classes, right, where you'll get your your hard hitting skills at level 32, which is true for engineer or alchemist, but for Alchemist is a bit more important. Why? Because at level 35 we get a skill called Elemental Bubble Charging if you're on the ice fire side of the tree, or you get a skill called Chemical Bubble Charging. That means if you're at the dark side of the tree you'll get this. So why are these two skills very important? The reason being this is because Alchemist actually works, the way the class works is that you need to depend on bubble counters. You see, Magma Punch, you will earn a bubble, alchemic bubble, and many other skills. Magma Wall gives you a bubble counter, and basically the way you do your skills is you generate bubble counters, and the more bubble counters you have usually allows you to do more damage or more advantageous effects. Like let's say for our ice cream mix skill, which is Cocktail, you can get more buffs, where with 6 bubble span you get cooldown time reduction. So Alchemist is very dependent on the number of bubble buff counters you have. So that is why at level 35 it's very important that you are open to getting these two skills. And for myself, I've made the mistake when I was level 35 I was unable to get this skill, and you'll find it a very tedious task to level further on, because having 2 bubbles per skill when you cast your fire or ice skills actually helps you be able to summon your slime, be able to do your cocktail. But previously, if you don't have this elemental bubble charging skill, you'll find yourself having trouble balancing between should I summon a slime first or should I do cocktail. So now with this buff you don't have to do that. You find yourself having too many bubble counters, and that will be where the skill come in, where you use it efficiently. So that is why the level 35 skill build is there. It's such that you are able to get one of these skills when you're leveling your alchemist. So from level 35 onwards it'll be a lot easier for you. But for me, I just used my Iron Scroll, which is given to you at level 15. And yup, I wasted my reset scroll. So I don't want that to happen to you, and hopefully this safeguards you from actually having that to happen to yourself. So remember, level 35, you must get either of the 3 depending on where you're focusing on. So the rest of the guide will be about me showing you specific skills and why it's actually important that you have it. So the first skill that I want to talk about when you're level 34 is this, Magma Punch and Icing Punch. These 2 skills are one of your main DPS skills, just like Moonlight Splitter when you're Sword Master. So these 2 skills can be chained. So in the video you should be able to see that there are very many opportunities to actually chain them together, which you can do the Magma first followed by the Ice, or the Ice first followed by Magma. I prefer the Ice followed by the Magma because I think if you do the dodging with the Ice, you actually have invisibility frame, so you can actually negate some damage from monsters while actually doing that method instead of the Magma followed by the Ice. So that would be one of the chains that you can do, very basic chains. The other one is you can actually chain this Magma and Icing Punch with Poison Charging, which you can actually learn at level 23. So Poison Charging actually like hovers your character into the air while doing a mini suction effect where monsters will be sucked onto you, and after which you can use Magma, or you can use Icing Punch and Magma Punch. Why? When you're in the air, it actually allows you to have another dodge. So this effect is actually very awesome, like a mini dash for your class. For example, you do a tumble, then while tumbling you click right click, which is a special attack to activate the Poison Charging skill, and while you're landing it actually allows you to tumble again. So it allows you to cover a long distance, good for dungeon run. So I recommend getting this skill. But where should you get Mixed Infection? I do not know yet, but I'm not putting that skill for now. But some people say that, I think if you read the one on MMO site, I think it's Yak's Alchemist build, but he actually do all the way to level 50. He actually added this skill, and I read it. He said that it's actually decent damage and it actually breaks super armor. So maybe if you are a PvP build Alchemist, you might want to consider this at level 40. But at level 40, I might consider not learning this skill because it's 10 SP and I'm actually focusing on the fire ice side of the skill tree. But of course, if you're on the dark side, which is the poison side of the skill tree, feel free to get it. So that will be the first 3 chains of skills that you can do, which I want to mention, which is highly important because it's the bread and butter of the Alchemist class. So another skill that I want to talk about, which is a musket, will be Magma Wave. So let's say if you're focusing on the dark side of the tree, you might want to get level 1 Magma Wave and level 1 Ice Pump. Ice Pump, I'll speak about it later on. But for Magma Wave, you can see in the video scene the range is massive. I talked to a PvPer who actually tested, I think it's Kenshi from Westwood. He actually said that the range at 5 bubbles will be around the range of your line drive, the distance that a line drive can actually cover. So you can actually see in the video that the range is very far. So the other good thing about this skill is during PvP, it actually has a bit of super armor where you can actually take some small hits while casting a skill, so you don't get cancelled that easily. So Magma Wave, even if you are going for the dark side of the tree, I think it's a skill that you want to get because of the AoE range for farming, and the damage is decent as well. So Magma Wave, one skill that I want to talk about that you should get. So the next skill that I want to talk about will be Poison Break. Look at the difference in the number of damage. Okay, look at Magma Wave for example. It's 337% of your magic attack plus 528. But for Poison Break, it's 391%, which is already higher of your magic, higher than the previous Magma Wave percentage, and it is plus 1166 damage. So this skill has a very high base inherent damage. So some people commented in my previous videos that it's actually more damage than your ultimate. I wonder if that is true, but with 5 bubbles damage, you can actually see in the video scene that the damage is massive. But the thing about Poison Break is that you need the monsters to have the poison effect. This is where Poison Charging comes, because it's a dark base attack. I think, yep, it's a dark base attack, and usually if you want it to have a high chance of activating, throw this spell called Disease. Disease will inflict your monsters with a poison debuff, itself doing some decent damage, and after which you can follow up with Poison Break. You can see in the video scene where Poison Break damage is actually massive and definitely worth getting for. So for me, I'm focusing on the left side of the tree and getting up to Poison Break. There's actually a skill build at level 40 which I can show you later, which is a hybrid where you can get both elemental bubble charging and chemical power charging. But I wouldn't recommend that, though you'll be getting a lot of your bubble counters, but do you have enough skills to use them out efficiently? So I don't think it's necessary to get both of these passive skills unless dual ultimate is present in level 50 cap, which we are not getting soon. So this skill build guide is actually focused on level 40 cap, so just need to get one of them. So that will be it. So for the academic side of the tree, I realized that Alfredo is useless for Alchemist, so there's no need to get Alfredo. Nope, no need to get Alfredo. So you save yourself 8 SP. Get one for Bubble just for trapping monsters while you're farming, or in PvP you can trap a person. It's good for chaining your combos. So Bubble, I got it to level 1. I actually had Force out earlier on. When I was still leveling my Alchemist. Actually, I think it's a decent skill for PvP. I guess it actually forces your opponent back, working like Shockwave. Yeah, it actually pushes your monsters back. But the strength of the pushback is not as strong as the Sorcerer's Shockwave. So But I know that you can actually do more combos with Force Out. I tried it in PvP myself, so if you're a PvP player, I think you can add it to level 1. I didn't add Minion Weight Hammer because I think it works like Hammer Strike for Sorcerers as well, so PvP players maybe want to consider it. I think it could be crucial for your PvP combos. For Air Bomb, it's when you area evade and your enemies could be doing some chain skill. That means they could be continuing to attack you. So when you area evade, you can actually press right click and it drops a bomb, and you can actually flinch them. Chances of flinching them, I'm not sure if it's a very good super armor breaking skill, whereas you can flinch them all the time. But yep, you can actually damage them if they are waiting for you while you area evade. So it actually worked for me a few times, but I don't think it's reliable for you to add it, so I did add it as well. So last but not least, get the HP and MP. Yes, for Alchemist, I think if you have played the class, you will realize that your mana actually drops extremely fast. So definitely, My Conquer and Mental Mastery must max them out when you're level 40. So the rest is just prerequisites. Quick Shot level 5. I got Stun Grenade for PvP because even though he has only 70% chance to stun, it's I think it has very low cooldown, 10 seconds, and while waiting for your other skills in Alchemist tree to be off cooldown, you can use it to save yourself some time, especially if you're fighting dash classes that are actually very aggressive against you. So Stun Grenade, I took it. And I did get Sacrifice because it's currently bugged now, and yeah, they say that it's not worth adding it anyway. It costs 10 SP, so didn't add it this time. I actually reset it. I had it initially, but it's not working. So I think that's all for things that I want to highlight. And yeah, remember, Magma Wave, Poison Break, must get skills, follow the level 35, and have fun. I think the potential of Alchemist PvP is actually pretty high. I've tried it myself, and you have only 35k HP in compensation on PvP, which is I think the lowest for all the other classes. I think maybe we are the same as Archer's class, not too sure, but yeah, we are actually very squishy, but we can do crazy damage as well. For example, Poison Break can hit out 20,000 damage, Magma Wave damage is crazy, and you can do a chaining combo with both Magma Wave combined with Poison Break, where you can dish out 30k damage in a combo that is like I think 70% to 80% HP of my Sword Master. So PvP for Alchemist would be covered in another video. So I hope you guys like this part 7 for Alchemist, and yep, the next one we will be talking about will most probably be the Engineer Skill Build Guide. So remember to like and subscribe to show your support. Head over to our official site to look at the written guide, where I'll actually write in more emphasis as to every skill, and you can see all the different 4 skill builds for 24, 32, 35 and 40. So head over to our site to check them out. And yep, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless.
This is Lisbeth here. Thanks for subscribing.